Welcome, everybody, to another live edition of our Man's Night right here from Inside Out Network. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you again, guys, so much for being here and showing your love and respect and support of this great channel and all of the causes and whatnot that we're doing over here, especially for the ones that are doing all the stuff behind the scenes that we're not technically, putting out there in advertising. So again, thank you guys so much for being here. I greatly, greatly appreciate every single one of you that make these a very special and epic podcast right here tonight. So let's go ahead and get into the chat real quick and introduce everybody and welcome everybody in. Let's start at the beginning. And of course, obviously, we have Trey Stone. What's up, Trey? Thank you so much, my friend, for being here. I appreciate you as always. And I hope everything's going good in your neck of the woods as it is here with me. Let's go ahead and give a major shout out to Searching for Answers. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you too as well. I understand that you got, obviously the corruption and whatnot that you're dealing with your case and all that fun jazz over there. So again, we're here to support you and help you on that. So welcome to the show, and I'm glad you're here. My good friend Joe, what's up, Joe? Thank you again so much for being here and watching this podcast tonight. I do appreciate it, and I do hope that you're doing good in your neck of the woods and having a great Friday night. Also, on top of that, we have Tammy. What's going on, Tammy? Thank you again so much for all your hard work behind the scenes that you're doing. And, of course, obviously, thank you so much for being here. And hopefully you'll be up on the live panel tonight with us, too, to go over this very interesting topic that we got for you guys in store tonight. Thank you so much for being here and doing that. So, and that includes everybody that is obviously not in the chat. I can't, for some reason, see the chat from other platforms. I don't know why it does that, but unfortunately it just does. But we are streaming on other platforms and welcome in everybody that are over there too as well. You know what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and get into some of the chat tonight. Curtis, what's up, man, my friend? Thank you so much, Curtis, for being here. I appreciate you, my friend, as always. And I'm hoping you're doing good over there in your neck of the woods. Nonetheless, Trey said this, ta-ta, Tammy, I'm sing-song voice. Thank you, Trey, so much for that. And then, of course, Tammy gets in here and says, at Trey, please don't make me sing. I must have missed something somewhere, but anyways. And then Wanda says, I'm here just trying to get a piece of mental out of the BFS finger. Yeah, I get it. No, absolutely. And Tammy said, ouch. Not sure what that was for. Hear that, Jay? Tam wants to sing live. Joke. Well, you know what? Don't get her started because she just might do that. So, yeah, I think that's funny. She's got some great songs that she's writing. Anyways, and shall she help? Shall she helped? Okay. Thank you so much, Tammy, for that. And appreciate it, Jay. You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. Absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't help. I'm half blind looking for a tiny piece metal. LOL. Oh, gotcha. Now I understand what you meant by that earlier. But anyways, thank you so much for your guys' comments. All right, I got two things that I want to do here tonight. So this podcast, most likely, like the other last few I've done so far, guys, is probably going to go over the hour mark because I have a lot of data information that I need to unpack here tonight. But unfortunately, as you guys know, and I'm not trying to sound like a broken record, but gosh, it is what it is. I don't know if you guys caught the individual in one of my videos. Got in the chat. I will show you guys that here tonight. This individual got in the chat and made a comment, and I'm calling him out on it. And so before I do any of that, let's welcome my good friend and team member to this great cause. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tammy to the show. Welcome, Tammy. How you doing? Thank you so much for being here.
I'm doing good. What I was saying is Shell helped me today because I was having a heck of a day at work. So she helped me like find some of the material. Well, pretty much all of the material. Even though I did the artwork and stuff, she did a lot of the footwork. Helped me out with.
Gotcha. Okay, now I understand. So, well,
So
that's
I
cool.
was,
Well, I don't know if she's watching tonight,
yeah,
but by
she's
chance,
watching. She had a
okay. Well,
glitch last time about the chat where she couldn't be in the chat for
yeah,
some
I
reason.
didn't
It
see none
wasn't
of the chat
loading.
come up with. I didn't see none of that. So,
Wasn't
is she going to be in the?
loading for her, so she's here tonight. She's just
Is she going to be in the chat?
yeah, I think so. Let me Shell, if you're in the chat, tell me if you're in the chat. Write me a text. Let me know if you're able to chat or write in the chat
Right.
if you're here.
Okay. So, anyways,
Okay.
tell her I said welcome in. If she can hear me, welcome, and thank you so much for being here and showing your support. Appreciate it. With that being said, when I was getting at earlier in my introduction, guys, unfortunately, I have another individual, another person, if you will. I'm trying to think who this guy in the chat is. Blacker RG. Diddla do. I'm not sure what that
Maybe
means,
he's
but
singing now. I don't
yeah.
know. Trey's on the singing thing. Get
Yeah.
up here, Trey. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. All right. But anyways, before we get
Oh
into the
yeah. Yeah, no.
I got you.
Um yeah,
So the
no. So
mods, you need to get in there and get these guys out, please.
Wanda, can you kick the problem, the issue?
Yeah. Yep. Please do get him out of the
Um
chat. We're not going to play that game here tonight. All the mods, the guy that think. Wait, no, you do that. Who is Bryce coming in here?
I don't know. I'm seeing Cash Star,
Uh,
Street Beefs.
Stand by, Tammy. Everybody, stand by for a second. I got to find out who this guy is.
Okay.
Welcome, Bryce.
I heard this was a safe place for people like me.
Say that again. Turn up your mic.
Can you turn up your mic, please, Bryce? We can't hear you real clear.
Welcome, Bryce. Can you hear me? Really? I do apologize on that, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have an interesting night tonight, and this is the reason why I'm doing this. If there's anybody else in here that wants to be disrespectful, I want the mods to get them completely out of here. We're not going to play that crap.
Wanda, if you can kick anybody that just starts acting ugly, if people
Yeah.
want to be in here and they don't agree with what we're saying, that's not an issue because we believe in freedom of speech. But if
Yeah.
you're going to do things that are ugly or disrespectful or insulting or just plain out disgusting, just, you don't have to be here. It's okay. It's okay to be in here. I think he needs to go.
I appreciate the mods watching this. You guys need to put Bigger, Blacker, or whatever that guy's name is in timeout. He's still getting up in here. Texas, TX Annie now's in here. This is interesting, guys. What is going on with the chat tonight? This is the first for me. Wow. I do apologize for you guys have to see all this.
And Texas Annie too, Wanda, if they're going to be disrespectful.
Yeah, this is
They want to
nuts.
stay and be nice, that's fine, but
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and conduct my podcast, whether these people like it or not. Hey,
you gotta
mods,
be
you guys,
strong with the show. It's not about,
I've already put myself out there and disclosed myself. If you guys got a problem with it, it is
he's
what it
back
is.
again. Whoever it is hacking your channel.
Joe said this. This is why I love you guys. Even when it gets out of hand, you all have so much respect. Like, if you need help, this is a safe place, but no time for games. This is real stuff. Absolutely.
Hang on a second. Go ahead and talk about what the show's about, Jay, for a second.
Yeah.
I'm still here. I'm just.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate you.
communicating.
I need to make sure the mods do their job tonight, and I will do what I can. This is getting out of hand. It's still going on.
Yeah, I know. Just ignore it and just continue on with the show because all they're doing is showing themselves. I mean,
Oh, they're just showing their mature level.
vigilante much, vigilante, hateful,
All
whatever
right.
you want to
Well,
call it, to stop.
Yeah. Yeah. You mods, keep these people out. Let's go ahead and let's get this
It's a
started.
safe place, Curtis, for the rest of us. I mean, if they want to act like that and be terrible and talk ugly and stuff, that just shows their character, not y'all, not
Yeah.
us. We're
Thank
not
you, Curtis. I appreciate you.
We're not gonna play into it. We're just gonna keep going.
Well, they all need to grow up. You know, it's a very sad situation. We got grown ass man picking on another grown ass man. All right, Curtis, I'm going to go ahead and continue. Thank you so much for your. I appreciate it.
I'll be right back, Jay.
All right, thank you, Tammy. Appreciate you.
back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the facts tonight with what's going on here tonight, I want everybody to ignore the chat. It is what it is. We got people in here that are just very immature for their age, and they show their true colors. It is what it is. So just let them do what they do. It's not affecting me one bit. The truth always been put out there. It is what it is. I'm just going to go ahead and do this podcast tonight. Anyways, with that being said, you guys know exactly what I'm in here for. Thank you so much for the JF. Thank you so much. I will do that very much. Appreciate that. Absolutely. And thank you so much for the $4.99 JF. I appreciate you very much. That is very highly respectful. Appreciate you for that. Okay, tonight we're going to be talking about paper check, what it means, and what happens to an individual when they go to prison if they don't or do have their certain paperwork on their person when they get to prison. We're going to be talking about that. Plus, we're going to be talking about something after that of an individual that is making claims. Claims, no proof to back it up, by the way, claims that I buy my subs. We're going to be doing that tonight too as well. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Orphan Annie's in here. Hi, Orphan. I can't really watch the chat tonight, so the mods, you guys are on overload tonight, it looks like. So you guys need to watch the mods and watch the situation, and please help me get these guys put on blast. All right, I appreciate it, guys. Yes, it's Friday night. They got nothing else to do. You know, they don't spend quality time with their family. They sit there and get in here and pick on people like me. Yeah, absolutely. That shows the height of their intelligence. Anyways, let's go ahead and do a share screen and talk about what we're talking about tonight. Let's go ahead and do that. And Tammy will be back in here a little bit later tonight. Let's do the share screen as always and share this, guys, with you. All right. I'm going to read this, guys. Let me know if you guys can see this in the chat. If you guys can see this, and we'll go from there. On the screen, we're going to be talking about paper check stuff and why it happens and who started it, where it came from, all that fun jazz right here tonight. Here's the title for some of this information that I'll be sharing again. Again, this stuff's in the description of my video here tonight. And we are talking about the paper check and why it happens and all that fun jazz here tonight. So here it is. Some inmates brag about their crimes. Others lie or try to hide their past. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right. It says here, I'll go ahead and do this short and sweet. There are a number of ways in which prison inmates will talk about their past criminal behavior. Some guys give a well-rehearsed story that often minimizes accountability in their version of events. They downplay their involvement or justify their actions. I've also heard these minimizing, before the story is refined. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on some more here and show you the facts. Let me know if you guys can see this. If not, I will do some zooming in on it. All right, thank you guys so much for putting me out there. I appreciate it, guys. All right. During my first week in prison, there was a guy trying to convince anyone who would listen that he had been convicted on 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault on a minor because he had accidentally grazed his stepdaughter's breast while they were wrestling. Isn't that some shit? His story was not well received. Shortly thereafter, he checked himself into protective custody because he received a multitude of threats. And that is true. That does happen in there. All right, moving on real quick. Let me go ahead and read this. Oops, there we go. Let me get the... there we go. Other guys glorify their crimes and / or define themselves by them. It is common to find guys who like to tell you how much weight, quality, and quality of their drugs. Yep, because they like to brag about that, believe it or not. They were slinging, selling, or disputing, pertaining to drugs. Imagine that. All right. All right. Let's see. Some guys glorify even when it wouldn't be considered something to brag about. I know a guy who will mention at every opportunity stealing Cadillac converters is his hustle, and that happens on a daily out here as we speak, and has been for over a decade. Wow, I can't fathom why he would why, but he's proud of it. And most people are actually technically proud of their crimes. You'd be amazed. Moving down the line here, guys. Says this: I met a guy in jail who claimed he had traveled the country stealing high dollar items like GPS units from truck stops and selling them to truckers for half price or less. When he told me his story, I could tell he was proud of the small minority in the news that he had earned. All right. So as you guys can see here, people like to brag and talk and boast about their crimes that they committed. Imagine that. Let's go ahead and do one more thing here, or a few more things here. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a this right here shows you guys proof of why people do paper check. Here, I want you guys to listen to this.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show. And in this video, we're going to talk about the top 5 reasons why guys check in prison. Now, for those of you who may not know what checking in refers to, this means to actually go to the hole voluntarily. And you may be hearing this thinking to yourself, why would anybody want to go to the hole? I mean, the way you explain that sounds like the worst place inside of a jail or prison that you could possibly go. Who would want to go there voluntarily? You done yet? You done? Because I'm about to explain that right now. And to expound upon that a little bit further. Ooh, expound! What's that, a 7-letter word? Joe, you really have been playing Scrabble on your phone lately. But again, to expound upon that a little bit further, you're absolutely right. I mean, the hole is the worst place that you could possibly serve any amount of time in. Solitary confinement, isolation, the shoe. We've talked about these places, which are pretty much all the same exact places, just a different word used to explain the same exact thing. But we've talked about these places so many times here on After Prison Show, and again, you were absolutely right. This is the worst of the worst type of time that you can serve in prison or jail. And yet again, you will have guys who will check in. And yet again, you will have guys who will check in. Oh my God, Cody! Cody's not here right now. But with all of that being mentioned, what do you say we just go ahead and dive into these top 5 reasons why guys will in fact actually check in prison. Now, the first reason is one that you would probably automatically assume anytime you think about why someone would actually voluntarily want to go to the hole. And that is, of course, because of their charges. And this may come as a surprise to some people who might be watching this video, but I have to assure you that some guys will get locked up with the worst And I mean the absolute worst type of charges that anybody could actually catch and get locked up for. And when these guys get locked up, they know what they've done, and they also know what their time is going to be like as soon as they get inside of that jail or prison. And because of that, the best possible bet for them, the safest bet, is to go ahead and check in. Reason being, because as soon as people find out about those charges, which I have to assure you they most certainly will, oh boy, I just got to assure you, they will have some problems up inside of that jail or prison. Now, here's something crazy to think about when you think about people getting locked up with these terrible type of charges. You may think like, well, if you get locked up with those type of charges, you're probably going to be doing everything in your power to not tell anybody what you're locked up for. But you know, in a lot of cases, it never really works out like that. Of course, they will not be the ones to tell anybody what they're locked up for. Man, you look like the type of guy who would have some terrible charges. What you locked up for, man? You better tell me right now. Or you better tell me. I'm gonna tell you. Oh, you are actually. What?
That's how it is.
Yeah, you know, I just can't possibly imagine anyone getting locked up with terrible charges being willing and forthcoming to tell any other prisoners what exactly they're locked up for. And with the fact that prisoners who have those type of charges aren't going to be wanting to tell anybody what they are locked up for. Hey man, you look like you got some terrible charges. What you locked up in this jail for? I need to know right now. You better tell me right now. I'm going to show you my paperwork right now. Just wait, I'm going to show you my paperwork. It's official. It's straight from the courts.
I'm going to come back to this because I got to get back into the chat. Tammy needs to get back in here. So bear with me, guys. Sorry about that, Tammy. Okay, there's the link to my stream, Tammy. If you want to come in, go ahead and do that. So obviously we got a lot of ignorant people in here in the chat. So don't mind them. Just mods, do what you do. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm proud of you guys. Thank you so much for doing that. So these guys are spreading the fear-mongering bullshit, obviously. They're doing what they're doing. They can't seem to, they don't got no facts behind anything they're saying. They're doing this fear-mongering scare tactic bullshit with me. And obviously at my age, that doesn't work. So it is what it is. Welcome back in, Tammy. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I was just trying to look at some stuff on the back end. Okay, I'm back.
Okay. No, you're good. I just, I can't believe the amount of people in here tonight just firing off on me negatively.
I know. I don't know where it's coming from, but whoever.
I can tell you, I know exactly where it's coming. I know exactly.
Hacking.
No, it's not hacking. It's them sharing my channel and putting my channel out there. I know exactly who did it. And I'm going to go ahead and show that, I guess, on the screen now, because obviously, thanks to him, I believe he's the one that is helping anyways, put it out there. I don't think it's from the people up north. I haven't heard from them in a while. They've been pretty quiet.
Well,
so I can't.
The other information that came forward about them, that they were actually had somebody that had charges much worse than charges you ever had.
Yeah, look, I have to put this one up because I'm going to laugh at this. This guy right here says this: going back to the joint. In order for that to happen, you got to break the law, small fry. Thanks for your comment then anyways. Yeah, Curtis, there is a lot of haters in here. And before I show his, let me show Wanda's. This is effed up. Grow up and act like an adult or kick rocks. Absolutely. And Curtis said this. A lot of haters. Well, you know what? It is. But guess what? There's a positive side of this. This is called free advertisement. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to use it. And do what I got to do. It's free advertisement. Why not? I love the attention. I know. And this guy said it right there. He goes, this is going to happen every time you go live. That's my freaking point. That's exactly what the hell I want. You guys are proving without any shadow of doubt that the said law that we've even discussed here before isn't doing its job good enough. So that's the reason why you guys are in here doing it for the law. You see what I'm saying? Which in turn is going to help me with my group and my team get rid of the said law. This proves it right here. Thanks for being in here, showing your ignorance and all of that, and putting me out there, which is going to help me and my channel.
If you would listen, if you guys really want to know everybody's story, then you may want to actually go and educate yourself. It's not, listen, you think by being bullies and being mean that you're accomplishing something. I mean, like, really, what are you accomplishing?
You're making it easy for me.
Do you understand that you're really not educating yourselves about the whole situation?
No,
like,
they're not.
Really,
and I already did it too.
Behind the scenes, how many people have sat on death row and been killed, murdered by the taxpayer dollars, murdered by the state, murdered by the federal government, that they've come back after they're dead and gone and they said, oh, we made a mistake. That person really did not commit this crime.
Absolutely. That's the ignorance that we have in here. And you guys can clearly see it tonight. You're spot on, Tammy.
I'm not going to even justify it. I'm just saying that it's ridiculous that if you don't know 100%, you weren't there, you didn't see something,
they weren't there,
proof that something happened, then you don't know.
They weren't there, and you know
what? As kids, did you not learn that as kids?
Right, no, you're absolutely right, Tam. And they weren't there. They weren't in the passenger seat when all this happened back in 2009. They weren't there. And my situation's all out there on this channel right now on my 2-hour special I did a while back, and all the evidence and proof and truth is right there. They obviously haven't seen it, and it's absolutely funny to see these people get in the chat and show their true ignorance. This is the reason why we need education in this country. We are so uneducated, it's unreal. I can't, this is why I'm so busy. I can't keep doing this over and over and over.
So let's just go on about our topic. They can spew whatever they need to spew. People will see the topic. They'll find that part interesting. And people can either see the truth, or people can act ignorant, whichever they want to do. I don't really care. Let's go on with the hard work that was put out there.
Oh, absolutely, Tammy. I agree. I just want to show some Orphan Annie's comment.
Have our show like we do every Friday night.
Thank you, Tammy, for your kind words. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Orphan Annie said this from Inside Out Network, LLC, the haters cannot handle the truth. Absolutely not. And they do not share any of it either. They just want to put the hype and the garbage out there and not the facts. That's what's funny about that whole thing. And Curtis said exactly. And then he also said mine was in 2010. Absolutely. And then this guy goes, ask your boy Ahmad about me. I have. I follow him. He's a great guy. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the facts again tonight about paper check and all that fun jazz. I'm going to go back where we left off just so you guys can understand how this works. And we'll start this video back off. Tammy, if you have anything, just let me know. I can hear you, but I won't be able to deal with anything else when the screen's like this. So just let me know.
Okay, go ahead.
Just wait. This is from the courts, I swear. It's from the court. These are my charges, right? Please. So even though some guys may try to not tell you exactly what they're locked up for, or more likely lie about that, especially if those charges are of the most horrendous caliber. There are a lot of different ways prisoners can find out exactly what somebody's locked up for. 1, potentially if those charges are really horrible, they will definitely be on the news. 2,
pause it for a minute, Jay.
Prison gone.
Go ahead, Tammy.
I want to make a point with something he just said. They'll find out what the charges are, but we all know, based on evidence, based on statistics, based on everything, people assume that the
Mhm.
charges are exactly what they say they are, but unless you look at the case and you actually, you know, read the files, see the hospital
Exactly.
reports, see all the evidence on both sides to see what's going on. There is a trend in this country
Oh,
where
absolutely.
I've dealt with a lot of fathers' rights groups and talked to a lot of really good people that
Absolutely.
they are having issues because of the fact that they have a jilted ex. And that's both men and women, by the way. There's women in prisons that got set up by their ex boyfriends and husbands on false allegations
Right.
because they wanted to hem them up and they have more money. I mean,
Absolutely.
it is a money's game. So,
It's all about the
advocating
money.
this, that's what this is all about with this whole papers and all this bullshit.
Mhm.
If I mean, like, I've
Yep.
never been in trouble. So, but that being said, you know, I look at it from a different perspective than everybody all the way together. Um, I don't understand the mentality behind these prisoners beating the hell out of each other for different things that a lot of them, they hike the charges up to look really,
Mhm.
really horrific. And
Oh,
then they bring
exactly.
them down part way for the plea. And we know
Yeah,
that 98% of cases plead out. So that means,
exactly.
like, how many people are really innocent? And then you have the whole factor of their charges being something that they're completely not something else. So
Exactly.
they're
Exactly.
beating the hell out of each other when they could be working together for better conditions in there while they're all serving time.
Well, it's contradicting. It's
That's
hypocritical.
kind of what I'm trying to say is they're
Yeah.
assuming shit that they don't want other people to assume about them. How hypocritical
Right.
is that?
No
Like,
shit.
what do they have to prove? It's stupid.
Right. No, you're spot on. And what's funny is that the staff members inside of our prisons, believe it or not, didn't come up with this rule. No, the locked up loved ones came up with this. They
Yeah, and
basically
it's
the
so
locked up loved
dumb.
ones.
It's
It's
dumb.
prison politics. It's prison rules, prison politics. It's so stupid. But they came up with this to police their own kind. It makes no sense. You're in there for doing a crime. The other person's in there for doing a crime. You may not like what he's in there for, his crime, but we're all basically doing the same time as anybody else, or vice versa. So it doesn't make any sense why one will be, made be worse than the other. Because if you're a criminal, you're no better than the next guy down the street. That's just how I look at it. So it's contradicting.
Well,
But let's go
that's
ahead
the
and
whole thing. That's my whole point, though, is like they could be, like, for example, in Texas, they could be working together as one whole cohesive unit to have better conditions where instead of us having 30% of our prisons with AC, all of
yeah,
them would
absolutely.
have AC because they all joined together and decided to go for a common good of
Mhm.
something better instead of the nonsense. You know what I mean? Like, I get that they think they need to police themselves, but it's just like saying, "Oh, well, let's let the bad cops police everything because they're the bad
Right.
cops and they're the toughest ones."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of stupid because cops make up their own rules. Bad cops, not all
Right.
cops. Bad cops make up their own rules, right? And so
Right.
they
Right.
arrest people on false bullshit. Well, this is
Right.
the same thing. This is just like the bullying that's going on. It's the same concept. So we're going to
Yeah.
let these bad people come in and take over
Yeah. Yeah.
and lose
No,
sight
I
of the
know.
real goal.
Yeah, absolutely correct. But again, Tammy, thank you for your insight. I really appreciate you over there. Let's go ahead and
Yeah,
finish
finish
this
up.
up.
It's
And
fine.
Or could be the one that spills the beans about exactly what said prisoner is locked up for. Because I have to assure you, there are a lot of guards who cannot stand seeing people get locked up for these terrible type of charges. And they're going to be quick to tell a prisoner or two who they know is definitely going to spill the beans about everything, what exactly somebody's locked up for if they have. Again, how many times have I said terrible charges? But you get what I'm saying. 3, the most likely of any way that prisoners will find out exactly what somebody's locked up for. They're going to find out exactly what that person's name is. They're going to find out exactly what that person's inmate number is. And all they got to do is get somebody on the outside via the phone to look them up and find out exactly what they are locked up for. So yeah, it is definitely without question that the number one reason why people will check in prison voluntarily is because of their charges. Number 2, problems with other prisoners or prison gangs. You know, while locked up, nobody's ever really looking for problems. It just usually tends to happen that problems will come your way. In fact, if anybody ever tells you that they were locked up and they didn't have any problems at all, that's usually either because of one of 2 things. Either they were the biggest, baddest, toughest prisoner there that nobody wanted to have problems with, which is definitely going to be the least likely of the reasons, or the more better reason, the more likely of the 2. Oh, they spent all the time that they were locked up for checked in. And real quick, just a little clarification to throw into all of this. As we talk about checking in and going to the hole, going to isolation, in this terminology, we are definitely referring to protective custody. You know, you'll have guys who will go to the hole for disciplinary reasons, like getting in trouble, getting in fights, getting caught with contraband, getting caught in the back shower with peach. I mean, whatever the reason, disciplinary issues is one way that you'll go to the hole. However, anytime that you go voluntarily, that is most certainly going to classify you in the other section of the hole, which is PC. And I'm not talking about your programmable computer or whatever PC stands for at all. I'm just talking about protective custody. But you know, it goes without saying that at least once or twice or 10 or maybe even 100 different times while locked up, you're going to run into a situation where you have problems with either a certain prisoner, a big bad bully type of prisoner, or maybe a prison gang. And to be completely honest with you, there was a time when old Joe had a problem with a Spanish gang while locked up, where I thought this one guy was going to get and that ended up being like one of the head honchos in this gang, and also my bunkie. It's kind of ironic how all of that tends to happen. And I would be lying if I told you I was not contemplating checking in my damn self. I mean, I wasn't trying to be in prison, but because of the fact that this guy was my bunkie. I mean, we were cool before this, and we ended up being cool after this. Don't get me wrong, however, though I did not have to check in prison, I most certainly copped one hella plea. Meaning I basically had to beg for my life in this situation. Hey, look, man, I know you my monkey at home, and I know you got your whole set coming after me. I ain't looking for these problems, man. I ain't looking for these problems. Hey, you're my monkey. It pretty much went exactly like that. I give you one more chance.
All right. If you guys want to watch the rest of this in its entirety, I think you guys get the better idea why I played this video and why it was sent to me. Some good facts was said here. Again, the channel is called After Prison Show. This is the first time I've heard of this guy. Anyways, respect for him putting that video on, and all credit goes to him for playing it. But let me go ahead and see if I have another. I think I have another video. Yeah, it's right here. Let's go ahead and play this one real quick. And then after this, we're going to get back in the chat and talk a little bit more. And I'm going to show you some other stuff not related to this topic. I believe that it needs to be put out there for tonight anyways. But anyways, let's go ahead and show you this video now.
So starting a Fresh Off series, we've been getting tons of emails about prison life. So we decided to start this series to answer all those questions you have. Prison life can be a scary thing if you know what you're walking into. You can end up in a deadly situation or get fucked up. I'm Big Herc, and I served nearly a decade in federal prison. And I've seen and lived through some shitty times. And this is prison talk. Yeah, we got a question from one of our viewers about when you enter prison, is it customary to have to produce your paperwork to show that your crime is legit and no cooperation or snitching took place? I have heard that if you don't produce your paperwork, it might be assumed that you cooperate in some way. That is true. If you show up on the yard and you're a part of a particular clique, they're going to ask you most likely to go get your paperwork. They're going to have what they call a paperwork party, or they're going to have you're going to talk bring your transcripts. And if you're kicking it with a certain crowd, they're going to know whether or not you're hot. So if you're a hot boy, you're going to have to check it in. If you're on some solo time, you most likely can get away with not having to show your paperwork to too many people. But even then, if you start associating with different crowds and talking to people, they're going to want to know whether or not you're legit. So if you're hot and you told on somebody, you best mind your business and you might as well check in, because hot boys is not allowed on the yard. You know what I'm saying? You hot boys, you got to be checking in. And if you snitch, then you was on some bitch time. So that's what it is.
So
All right, well, there's that. So let's go ahead and get back into the chat. The show. Welcome back, Tammy. What's your take on all this?
well, like I said, I think that I wish that I could just sit down with people and just be human. Just kind of sit there and say, guys, gals, what in the world are you doing? What is your
Right.
purpose here? Do you not want to, like, that's part of the problem with the rehabilitation and rehab and just everything in there that's wrong.
Right.
I mean, like from the guards snitching out people and what they did in there because they have a beef with them,
Correct.
and just the whole. Let's just take it down to basic bare bones. Listen, I had a conversation with somebody tonight that asked me how I felt about. We were talking. This person, their son committed capital murder. And we were talking about, children being hurt and things and all the stuff that's gone on,
Correct.
being used as mules and all the stuff that's going on with that kind of stuff, all those crimes. And I said, look, my real problem is with the laws that they're making now and the things that are going on inside of the prison. Let me ask a question to the chat out here. I think this is a good time to bring it up. All these people spewing stuff, and some of them have probably been incarcerated themselves.
Probably.
I guarantee you, in one way, shape, or form or another. How come it's okay to hate people even if they're guilty? One thing, if call yourself a Christian, it's not your job to judge. Number one. Number two, my big thing is how in the world do they call themselves hating that, but yet they're the same guys that are bending people over in the cells and essaying them
Yeah.
and
No.
doing things to them? I mean, how
How's
does
that make
make
sense?
them any different? SA is SA. It doesn't matter. And
Absolutely.
why did the federal prison system and why do the states all have PREA? Why does that even have to exist? If you're so sickened by what other people do, why would you commit such an offense? Whether it be to a grown man or woman doesn't make a damn. Crime is a crime.
Yeah. It's hard to wrap that around.
It doesn't work that way.
It's hard to wrap that around my head,
I'm trying to figure out why can you I just listen, we all stand before somebody, whatever higher power you believe in. I know what I believe, and I'm not pushing myself on anybody because that's a freedom of choice. People have the right to freedom of speech. My father, who was a police officer and served 20 years to this country so that people could talk like this,
Mhm.
I used to get mad, and I used to
Mhm.
get upset when people would burn the flag or do certain ignorant things
Mhm.
against the country and stuff. I'm not happy with the
Mhm.
way our country is right now either. But I'm not going to go burn a flag when I know what it represented to so many military people. But anyway, long story short, I mean, my dad used to tell me, hey, calm down. He said, you know what? I serve so people can do this. It's called
Mhm.
freedom of speech. We don't
Mhm.
have to agree with them. We don't even have to like them, but we do have to give them their freedom of speech. So we let
Correct.
them, and it just, like, we're assuming that every single person that the gavel falls down on when they get sent to prison is guilty.
Yeah.
So what? Who gives a shit what somebody's papers say? Half of those papers are trumped up, highfalutin, really big, astronomically big charges when
Correct.
they
And
take their plea, and then they're embellished.
correct. And what the haters and other people won't say is that, notice that you said the word paper. What's paper made out of? It's made out of trees or from trees, and it's very, very brittle in certain circumstances, and it can burn if fire reaches it. So, in my personal opinion, paper is nothing to me. And when you take your last breath, that paper doesn't go with you; it stays down here. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm saved. I've been forgiven, and I'm going to move on from it. It is what it is.
Yeah, I
I'm
agree. I mean, like, look, as far as the judicial system's concerned, you paid your time for what
absolutely.
you got sentenced for, and it's over with.
Mhm.
And you know what? All you people are doing, and I say you people, whatever,
Spreading the fear mongering. Spreading
is
the fear
all you're
mongering.
doing is putting people that really need some help. There's
Yep.
people that are probably watching this that really need some help. So if they wanted to reach out, all you're doing
Yep.
is pushing them into hiding, causing
Mhm.
more chaos and havoc
Yep.
than needs to be.
More
I
issues
mean,
than
what
there
are
need.
you trying to accomplish? You're not helping anybody doing this.
No,
And I
they
really
don't
don't want
care.
to give them any more attention than they need, really,
Right.
honestly, Jay.
I know, but again,
Attention seeking.
keep in mind, Tammy, to add what you said there, to add what is not being said, or they're not saying it, is actually they suffer from a thing called sadism. You guys actually look that word up in Google, the word sadism, and what it basically means is they suffer from they like to see people hurt. That's what it basically boils down to. It's a mental condition. They all suffer
Oh,
from
I
it.
know. My mother suffers from it.
Yeah,
Trust
it's like,
me, I lived
believe it
with
or
it
not,
my
these
whole
trolls
life
and haters,
dealing with her. They enjoy hurting other people, but you know
they get
what?
off on it. Exactly.
We're not going to. Everybody that's in here, I am so very sorry that people
Yeah.
have to act this way. I'm so sorry.
You can't reach them all. We can't reach them all, Tammy. We just can't
No,
reach them all.
no, but I'll pray for them.
Yeah.
God bless them. God bless
Yeah.
you, every
Because
one of
again,
you.
if you stop and think about it, ignorance obviously is thick in this country. You've seen your fair share of it. So am I. And there is no, I don't know how to explain it. It's like hard to try to educate the ignorance when they don't want to learn or be educated. They don't want to hear the facts. So and Orphan Annie said a great thing here. Wait, let me put it up on the screen. My great friend Orphan said this: sadism, period. I'm sorry, diverting,
Deriving.
deriving, excuse me, pleasure from
It's
acts
okay.
like killing someone, violently hurting someone, inflicting pain on someone in a sexual contents without their consent, or hurting or killing an animal. Yeah, it is a real thing. It's a mental condition. And I wouldn't even respond to this, Tammy. I don't know if you see it on there. I'll put it up there just in case. Anyways, this truthful Tam, do you have an email? I wouldn't even. These people are not in here. They want to get in contact with you. It sounds like. Um,
I
Welcome back, Wanda.
really, we're open air. I mean, you guys, seriously. I'm just
Yeah.
not in the hate mongering thing. I think that if there are people, I know there's people that have done things, but I
Thank
don't
you,
think
Wanda.
that's the way we go about helping people. And I don't think this is a way that we heal our society and make things better. I don't think this is how we come to a conclusion of how do we fix our society. Are you guys out there bashing all the ones that are, coming into Texas and all these other border things, doing the SE, whatever trade line that runs all the way from California to Florida and up
Oh,
the
it's
East
everywhere.
Coast
Yeah.
and all over our country and here in Texas, going through Houston up through
Mhm.
45 to I-10, Interstate 10 that goes all the way across our beautiful country.
Yeah.
That they're taking children, women,
Yeah. You don't hear,
men,
you don't hear
and
none of them talking about it on their
no.
platforms.
Like,
Imagine that.
I mean, if you guys want to do a show on that, then I'll be very happy to go sit
Yeah.
in your chats and listen and hear
Yeah.
what you have to say on those subjects as well. How about all the CEOs that have taken liberties
Yeah.
with all the women at the
Yeah.
medical facility and the wardens that were
Absolutely.
there? Both wardens were released, one convicted already, and we've got another
Mhm.
one that's about to be. And the whole
Mhm.
federal prison shut down there at Dublin Women's Correction Facility out in California. And we
Absolutely.
have one called Hobby here in Texas that they actually are doing the same thing that happened at Dublin Women's Medical Correction in California is going on here in Texas at Hobby Unit. So I
Mhm.
mean, like, if you guys really want to make a change, why don't you start there? Why don't you start with doing something positive about what's wrong? Get to
Right.
the root of the problem, start pushing for change and advocate in a real way that's healthy.
Yeah. No, I agree. Trey said this, who are you, Nanya, Tam's friend? So Trey's asking Nanya if you're Tam's friend, because I've never heard of this person. Is this your friend, Tammy, that is on the chat?
I don't know anybody named.
No, I mean the person that you were talking about earlier. Is that her? If it is, I apologize for being rude and wrong, but it's None Your Business is the name of the channel name. Do you know anybody
Oh,
by
I
that?
don't know.
They are claiming they want your email. Interesting.
If it's my friend, they have my email already. Seriously.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, never
Think
mind.
about
That answers what I need to know then. Okay. All right. So guys, let's see here. Where was I at? So basically, to narrow it down, guys, in this podcast, I'm sorry I'm all over the place. The chat got me all mixed up. I was doing well there until this happened, but nonetheless, I want you guys to understand paper check. What it basically means in a nutshell is that our locked up loved ones want to check your paperwork before you even get into the cell that you're going to be in. They basically police their own kind to see what kind of charges you have on your record. And again, the staff did not come up with that rule. Believe it or not, the locked up loved ones came up with that rule and that guideline. It's prison politics. It happens, and I hope you guys understand now what paper check means. Now, if you want to know how it happened with me, yes, believe it or not, they did a paper check on me too, and I actually did fine. I was on general population, main yard, as it's called in some other prisons. And I didn't have to PC up due to my stupid ass charges. I did fine. I kicked it right on main yard. And I guess it all depends on the prison, the security of the prison, and how laxed, I guess you will, is the prison. So there's a lot of other factors that play along with it. Okay, let me get back in the chat real quick here. Orphan said correction. We are dealing with cognitive diagnosis, which is the discomfort a person feels when their behavior does not align with their values or beliefs. And Nunya Business got in here and said, I didn't mean anything with my question, just wanted to send my blessings. God bless you all.
I don't know who Nanya is, and I didn't see that they said anything wrong. I tried looking.
I didn't
somebody
see
else would
anything
have
where it was
to.
wrong either, but I've never seen you I don't think I've seen you in here before, none of your business. And so I do apologize if I came off rude or anybody else in the chat came off rude. It's just that I'm on caution mode right now, and you have to understand why I am tonight. So I don't
Shell
know.
said, if you're not a part of the problem, then you are a part of, if you're not a part of the solution, you are a part of the problem. Positive change, not perpetually toxic negativity.
Right.
Okay,
That is
there you
true.
go.
All right. So, and then Trace Tammy is on the phone. Let's see. And then somebody said, I can't even pronounce that name. With all due respect, nope. And then this person said, Wanda said, I think I've saw the name before. Okay. And then she goes, but it could have been in a different chat. That's true, because I am streaming on other different platforms. That is true. And then Trey gets in, hi, Nanya, bless you too. And Trey said, you too, even. And then Shell, oh, this is your friend. Okay, my bad. Now I see
Shell
her
is
now.
my friend, yeah.
Okay, much respect. I understand that. If you are not part of the solution, then you are part of the problem. Positive change, not perpetually detoxing. Absolutely, I agree. Thank you so much for that. But anyways, there's that. So before I get out of here and go any further with this, I want to show you guys something that came up with.
Wait, hang on.
Go ahead.
Wanda had to say it, so I have to say it out loud because we all need a laugh. She said, dang, I know this is off topic, but air fryers make the best hot dogs.
I don't think I've actually had a hot dog in an air fryer. I'm going to try that. I've always boiled mine. So
And
I'm going to have to try that.
Nanya, I'm sorry. Whoever it is, whoever you are, if you do know me, you can write me, write Jay's email, because I'm not putting mine out yet because I'm still working on my nonprofit.
So Nanya, if you want to get a hold of us for any reason whatsoever, you can do that right now at voicesfrominsideout@gmail.com. Again, I do apologize for coming at you sideways or whatnot. It wasn't my intent. I've just got a lot going on right now. As you probably can see in the chat, a lot of stuff happened. But anyways, get a hold of me, voicesfrominsideout@gmail.com. Make sure you spell it the way you see it, or I won't get it. Thanks for being in here anyways, Nanya Business. I appreciate it. Trey Stone said, how long do you cook it?
I gotta love our group.
I love our little team here. Don't
We're
you?
like a bunch of ADHD kids running around.
We go from one thing to the next. I love it. But anyways, let me go ahead and do the share screen. I want to show you guys a channel and some proof. And the reason why I'm doing this, guys, is because number one, I'm being accused again of something that I obviously didn't do, but I'm waiting for the facts. He was supposed to show me something way sooner, but I'm still waiting for it. So anyways, here it is. Here's my share screen. Here's the guy's channel. All right. As you guys can see, I did a video on this guy back, I don't know how many months ago. This is JD Delay. Yes, I know. Just bear with me, guys. This is JD Delay. I did a video on this guy way back. But pay attention to this comment right here where it says GOT, game over, basically. Game over 2. He said this, and he came in here. This was all done yesterday and night before. JD Delay doesn't take kindly to fake PDF files. I'm not sure exactly what PDF files mean, so I called him out on it. Anyways, who purchased their subs and views to look like a bigger channel than they really are. Now he's accusing me, like the bitch up north, excuse my French, guys, that I buy my subs. All right. So here's my reply to this. I said, what in the blue hell are you even talking about? PDF files, ? And buying subs, ? That's interesting. If you have facts and proof that is what I do, share it. Otherwise, it's just an opinion. Thanks for checking out my channel or video and channel. And he goes back at me and says, hold my beer. I'll be right back. And this guy, I believe, is the one giving me all the attention tonight with all the haters. If you don't know who this guy is, here he is right here. Here's his channel, Game 2 Over. All right. He only has about 2,000 subs. He's a new channel. He goes by Authority Check, or better known as AC. He lives in Texas. He is I suppose he's got a girlfriend and kids, and he lives in a house in Texas. He's an interesting fella. And I've had a run-in with this guy before. He's the one that actually called me out, and you can see what he does on his channel. He exposes predators. And the more information right here, you can see it right here on the screen. This is his other channel, Authority Check. He is part of the shit show. So he's a shit starter. He likes to start shit. He says it right here. I do names, games, and exposing the truth, evil that slithers around these YouTube streets is what I do here. He likes to cause drama, nonetheless, and he admits it right here, ladies and gentlemen. And he's called me out and accused me, folks, as you guys can see again in the chat, that I buy my subs. Still waiting for proof of where I bought my subs. And I don't understand what PDF files are. Nonetheless, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. What's your take on that? And again, if you guys want to go comment on this video on my channel and let him know how I feel and how you guys feel, please do so. There's his channel. And
I'm not
don't go
going to give him more viewers. I'm not going to even play.
No, I'm
into
not
that.
either. But I'm just saying, don't go sub to his guy. But I'm just letting you guys know what's going on here. It's absolutely stupid. There you go.
I mean, they're just trying to pick a fight. I'm not going to give them the fight because I don't
It's
have
stupid.
time for it. I'm too busy out trying to make the world a better place. I don't have time for their draining my positive energy and making it into something negative. I want it to be a positive place for all of us to grow
I
and
agree,
connect
Tammy.
with other positive people. If they
Yeah.
want to act horrible, then they can act horrible, but we really want to build into helping people. There are mentally ill people. There are people that, if you go into the judicial system and you see the people locked up, if they go in there and they're innocent, they'll come out of there screwed up because mentally
Well,
they get
that's their
screwed up in there.
that's
You
how
know
they
what I'm saying? They come out with mental issues.
that's how they think. They don't see what common sense is. They don't believe in second chances, obviously, either, or they wouldn't attack me and try to ruin my second chance. So they don't believe in anything. They just believe in causing problems. That's their belief.
Well, I mean, all I can say is, you know what? People like that remind me of having a 2-year-old that's throwing a tantrum on the floor. So if you
I
walk
agree.
around the 2-year-old that's throwing the tantrum, you walk around them, you let them have their little episode, as I call it, and you keep going.
Yep. Yeah.
My children, one time, my daughter had a fit. She saw another kid do it. So when we got home, she decided she was going to try it. So she did it. And I walked around her and I kept doing what I did, like folding clothes, changing my laundry over, washer, dryer, did the dishes, dusted the living room. I kept going around my daughter while she was having this little fit. She's 3.
Yeah.
And I didn't even act like I saw her, right? And she's acting all having her little tits. And a few minutes later, I caught her in my peripheral vision looking at me. She stopped crying and she looked at me to see if I was paying attention. And I turned my head a little bit and she started to throw her little fit again. And I turned my head back around. She stopped crying. And that was the first and last time she ever did that again. And I was like, all right, this is how we solve this problem. So, like, some people they're so narcissistic and so screwed up mentally, sadistic, narcissistic, psychopathic, whatever whatever label, how I feel about labels. All these labels, all this crap, when it comes down to it, they're just not nice human beings. And so they don't want to play nice, so we don't play with them. We just move on.
Right. And again, I don't know.
That's it.
Right. And again, Tammy, with that being said, I don't even know if you've ever had to deal with this. I'm assuming you have, because I have had multiple times. Is you can't break the ice with these guys, though. That's what's the frustrating part. You cannot break the ice.
You know who they remind me of? You want me to tell you? And I'm going to say it. It might get us in trouble. I don't know. Do you care? I don't want.
Well, it depends on what it is. It depends on what it is, I guess.
So it reminds me of people that wore sheets that were shaped in cones.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. That's good enough. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So they didn't care either about being reasonable. They didn't like people because they weren't the same skin tone.
Correct.
or certain things. So they have this thing that they do, and they need to stop doing it, because as far as I know, those are one of the things that you do report people for on social media, that you have to
Correct.
follow the rules and you can't have this kind of speech. So I
Hmm.
wish that they would quit doing the fear mongering and the blank speech, because it needs to stop.
Well, that's the
um,
problem. No, again, it boils down to education.
Yeah,
You
get
know,
educated, get some knowledge, talk to some doctors, talk to some psychiatrists, some psychologists. And you know what? You may even get some help that way. You really, you might even really do that. I mean, like,
right.
seriously,
Thank you, Trey, for that info.
there's a lot of help out there for you guys. And a
Mhm.
lot of it's free if you really want to get the help. But I do know that the FBI, that is one thing on their thing too, is that that's against the law to have those.
What's that?
Um, the blank crimes,
Oh,
hate crimes, you can't have
yep. Gotcha.
those.
Gotcha. 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 Yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
mean, that is a federal law, and this
Yeah.
is one of those. They're targeting a certain sect of people
Hmm.
for their own gain, and that's not okay. And we do have, and I don't want to share who this is, but I had somebody write me, and I don't want to say. I'm just going to tell you guys. There is someone that I know amongst us that 3 family members sexually abused them, and none were convicted. But
Wow.
there was forgiveness and grace, and Jesus paid a price for them all. Sin is sin is sin is sin. Just saying,
Right.
it's
Absolutely.
all measured with the same scale. Black, white, purple, pink, green, doesn't matter.
Which,
Sin or no
right. And I don't
sin.
know if I might cause an issue too by saying this too, Tammy. And I mean this to all due respect for all the females, anyways. Nonetheless, as you know, I'm against taking a living thing out of somebody's womb. I'm against that. I'm not. I can't. I got to be careful what I say. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm against that, which is murder, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
Which doesn't make any sense to me personally. Again, yes, it's your body, your choice. I get it, and I'm all for that. But I don't. I just have a problem with knowing that we. I don't even want to go. I'm not going to say anymore. I got to be careful. I think you know where I'm getting at. It doesn't make any sense how
Yes.
that. It doesn't make any sense to me how that is okay. But my charges are like number one topic. You see my point? It
Yeah,
doesn't make
and
any.
I mean, like, listen, there's a lot of people in this world that, me having been around and helped a lot of children all throughout my
Mhm.
life, and
Mhm.
being hurt myself and going through the things I did. Here's the
Mhm.
thing. I have learned that we have failed as a society, as a tribe, as a village. We
Thank you,
have
Orphan.
failed because we have not helped the people with the mental illness,
No, and we don't have
with
enough
the
hospitals. We don't have enough
childhood.
hospitals.
It's not even that, it with the childhood traumas, because as a village we are so busy into our phones and our social media and the BS and the hype and the crap. Nobody
Hmm.
takes out the time to look at the old lady who's about to cross the street and get hit by 6 cars.
Yeah, see,
Nobody
that's sad.
takes the time. Nobody takes the time to see the person sitting there contemplating, unaliving themselves right there in
Right.
the middle of the town square. Nobody sees it. And
Yeah.
then bad stuff happens and nobody acts, and everybody goes, well, why did they do it this way? Or why didn't they do it that? Well, what did you do?
Thank you,
It's
Trey.
every one of us taking personal accountability in this society, in this time right now, and saying, what can I do? Me, myself, and I. Not what
Right.
can those bullies that said this and this and this. We don't care
Yeah.
about them. We
Yeah.
need to start right at ourselves. And it reminds me of the Michael Jackson song, Man in the Mirror.
Oh, absolutely.
We need to look at ourselves and go, what Okay, I'm flawed. I did this, this, and this. There is not one single person on the face of this earth, not one, that hasn't done something wrong or
Yeah.
sinned. And I
But you're never gonna,
promise
you're
you,
never,
the
you're
people
never
that
gonna,
throw the biggest stones are the ones
yep.
most guilty.
And you're never gonna hear it from them either. It's all hush hush, you know, but they want to throw
But we
stones.
know, and that's what I'm telling you, Jay. We know, you know, I know. Everybody in the chat that supports us and knows where we're going with all of this,
Yeah.
the bigger that it gets, the closer we get to our goal and God
I
and
agree.
what God is recruiting us to
I
do.
truly believe you guys are all here for a reason and a purpose. And I think I met you guys for a
God is
reason. That's the reason.
recruiting us. He's orchestrating every bit of this for a reason.
I agree.
And the closer we get, the harder the devil's going to hit. He's going
Oh,
to throw
absolutely.
some
'Cause
pretty tough punches, and we got to learn how to do what Jesus did,
Well,
which is take a breath and then walk over them. Keep
right.
going.
And you know what's funny, Tammy, and you hit that on the nail too, again, as usual. And what it is, jealousy is a major big no-no too. Jealousy, rage. I've seen it. People get jealous over people's success. And I feel that I'm becoming, in a sense, without sounding vain or stuck up, all of us actually, not just me, but I'm speaking, just making a point here. Success, and they don't want to see me become successful. They don't want to see me grow. They don't want to see me have my true second chance. That's why a lot of these people do what they do.
A lot of love. There's 8 people in here and half or more mods. It doesn't matter if there's only one person in here. How many people did Jesus have when he began himself?
Yeah.
He was one person. And
Yeah.
look at the world. The world follows him. The world follows one man. Remember that.
This guy said,
One man. Yeah, that's
right,
the one I
absolutely.
just read.
Yeah, a lot of love, question mark, like he's not seeing the love in here. He says there's 8 people. I don't know what he's watching off of, because according to my screen, there's 14. Anyways, he goes, a lot of love. There's 8 people in here, and half or more are mods. Yeah.
And that's
Whether
only
you're
the ones you see. You don't know what's in the other social media
right,
sites. And
right.
it doesn't
And
really
what's funny is,
matter.
regardless if you're a mod or not, if there's love, there's love. Love's
It's
love.
hilarious.
It doesn't, huh?
Jesus was one man. Jesus was one
Yeah.
man. It's hilarious. You're funny. You are
Yeah.
funny. I agree.
I got the can't let the haters outshine us. Absolutely. Thank you, Trey, for that. This person's laughing now.
That's why I said it's funny. It is funny
It is
when
funny.
you really think about it.
It's fixed up how the human race treat one another. Yeah, absolutely. It's
It's
effed up. Excuse
sad.
me.
It's very sad, but we love each other and it doesn't matter.
We all love you guys here anyways, regardless. You guys, when you guys show love and respect, you get it back. It's a two-way street.
Man and
You
God
treat people,
Curtis.
you treat people kindly, you're going to get treated kindly. Absolutely, guys. Just spot on. Jealousy is often motivated by insecurity or fear. Absolutely. I was going to say that earlier. Absolutely. Thank you, Orphan. Curtis said, man of God. Absolutely. And that's all we can. Look, God first, everything else second, third, last. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, what do you think, Tammy? Should we call it?
Yeah, that's fine. I think that, if there's anybody else that wanted to say anything, I think we are, guys, the goal is still the same every day. And
yeah,
every day I get up out of the bed and I put both of my feet on the ground, just like every single one of you do. And we put one foot in front of the other and we walk. But my walk is with God first. And then my second walk is with everybody that I love.
Yep.
And that means if you're a human being and you want to go in a positive direction, and even if you're in a lost place, I'll put my hand out there. I'll help. As long as you're wanting to help yourself, I'm there. But to run a bunch of people off and bully them is just not. This is a safe place, guys. I'm sorry.
Wanda's funny. I like Wanda.
Got hurt tonight.
Yeah.
If you got hurt, I can't apologize for these people. They have the right to say whatever, harass.
No, they do. They do. And again,
they want, but let's be
they
bigger
just
than them.
they just want to come in here and try to rain on somebody's parade.
Well, we're going to continue with the podcast. We're going to continue with the shows, and we're going to continue
Absolutely.
educating people as
I
much as we possibly can. Okay.
No, absolutely. I'm going to expect this every night now, or every time I go live, just like that one guy said, expect this to happen every night or every time I go live. So cool beans, more advertisement for me.
Let's just not give it the attention that they're wanting. Let's just do the shows and comment on the things that the normal, typical stuff that we always do, and just kind of skip over the crap that's going on. Curtis, can I say this to you? How do you change your life if you are not given a chance?
Yeah.
Curtis
said this.
Man. You're here, man, and we love you.
You're in the right spot, Curtis.
You're going to still thrive and live and keep going, because you know what? Eventually people get tired of hearing the drama and the BS. They do. Eventually
the negativity will get so, you know, I've seen it happen. Believe it or not, it will go away. I will become old news eventually, just like you. Huh?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. So, but anyways, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and back out of here. It's been another interesting podcast. Again, if you don't know what paper check is, again, watch the replay. Or I will say this real quick. Paper check is basically when you go to prison and you get into your living unit, wherever it may be, and if you have a cellie, your cellie is going to ask you paper check before anything else happens. And basically, they want to know your charges. That's what it means. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of here, guys. One more thing in the chat. Here we go. At Curtis Orphananny says there's a heart for you. And for Curtis, because we all love Curtis and respect Curtis. So reach out to Curtis if you can. I think Curtis had his email in here on the last live.
I need to write him, and I'm sorry, Curtis, that I haven't. It's been really crazy lately.
No, it's been a busy week for me and you. Trey Stone said terrorism only works if we let it affect us. Absolutely. Wanda said, you got this, Curtis, hon. Don't let, I can't say the word, thoughts or opinions affect you or the person you know you are. Absolutely. I keep telling him that. Love you, Curtis, if you're watching. Jesus was convicted and abandoned by all but his few friends. Absolutely. And it's documented and proved. Well, Tammy, can I say this to you real quick? Again, yes. I mean this. I mean this to the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for, being here, helping me, supporting me, and being a part of this great podcast. This is a great movement. I believe big changes are going to come down the pike, and without you, of course, none of this would happen technically. But I want to say thank you so much for all your hard work behind the scenes. Thank you, Tammy. I mean that.
Oh, you're welcome. You too, for sticking your neck out there and taking the punches. You know what, guys? People that have to come in and hurt other people are very injured individuals, and we just have to pray for them. If you pray, just pray for them and hope that God teaches them.
Good seeing you, Shell. Tell your friend, good seeing you, Shell. She said blessings all.
Blessings to everyone. We love you, Shell. Thank you for everything you're doing and helping with.
Orphan Annie, thank you so much for being in here. Love you. Take care. Have a good weekend. Hopefully I can get you up on the podcast if you want. Collab with me and let's work out something and go from there. I'd love to have you on the show like others besides who you see here every night or every other night or whatever it is I do these shows. I think it's Wednesdays and Fridays. Maybe things will change and I'll do more shows, but right now that's my scheduling. But anyways, if anybody wants to do a podcast with me, reach out to me, voicesfrominsideout@gmail.com. Again, I'll say this in the chat. Curtis, if you ever need a ear, my email is in my bio, and Jay and Tammy can give you my info. Thank you, Wanda. And Curtis said, thanks all. Absolutely. So you're not alone, Curtis. And Wanda said, take care, Shell, and any gals. Thank you so much, Wanda. Yep. And Tammy, once again, thank you so much for being here. Trey, Curtis, everybody in the chat, you know who we are. Again, thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of this great podcast. With that said, I'm your host, Jay. I will see you guys in the next one. Good night, everybody. Have a good weekend. Good night.
Good night.